One of the central demands of this march is to open up, to release the case files in Mumia's case. And if that happens, we're going to find out the answer to Tariq's question, which is the fact that they known for 30 years that Kenneth Freeman was there, and they hid it from the jury in his original trial, okay? And, okay, the second thing I want to talk about is hepatitis C, okay? We went to court in Scranton a couple years ago because there was a guy who invented Harvoni, which is a cure for hepatitis C, and he wanted it to be free for people to be sold at cost like penicillin, okay? But the pharmaceutical cartel in this country got a hold and bought the formula from the company that he worked for. And a $10 pill, $800 for treatment anywhere else in the world, they jacked up the price to $80,000, okay? So we went to court to get the Harvoni for Mumia. But because we won, thousands of other prisoners and veterans who are being denied Harvoni and people on Medicaid who are being denied Harvoni are now suing to get Harvoni, okay? So this is not just about Mumia, okay? The same thing, when we go to court now, April 30th, they're supposed to release the files on the actions of Judge, former DA Castile, who ended up on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, okay? But the memo that we've already found, okay, which indirectly references other memos that they're hiding, okay, and that we need released, it doesn't just affect Mumia, it affects 70 other families who can also sue for a new trial because their appeals were judged by the same person who prosecuted them, okay? So again, this is not just for Mumia, but we go down to Philadelphia all the time. This is the first time in 10 years since we sued on Batson jury selection, okay, that we have an opportunity to get a real hearing and a real look at the facts in Mumia's case. So it is really important to come down to Philadelphia April 30th, to get on the bus, even from the Solidarity Center, okay, because we need to pack the courtroom, we need to get in the streets, because this is going to affect justice. There are, I forget the number, something like 30 police officers in Philadelphia that the former DA identified as being corrupt and lying and quietly said should never testify in court. The new DA, who we're trying to get to release the files, has released the names of those corrupt police officers. So there are hundreds, maybe thousands of cases in Philadelphia that may get a fair hearing now, the Innocence Project, etc., because of the work that we're doing around Mumia and other political prisoners. And it's also about all the other political prisoners, the Move family, Ahed Tamimi, all the other political prisoners in this country and around the world, because it's all one system, okay? Don't get fooled. When they have political prisoners in other countries, it's all part of the same global capitalist imperialist system that's locking people up, that wants people to die so they can make $80,000, okay? Thank you. Oh, and I got, if you want to come, we got bus tickets today. Otherwise, get a hold of us at 212-330-8029, or you can get tickets at the Solidarity Center. But please come down to Philadelphia with us or on your own, because we need to be out there, because that's how we get the results we need.
Sarah Calinato. Labor Against Racist Terror, Sarah Calinato.
I just want to say that this is a union issue. We're out here fighting for jobs, not jails. And this prison industrial complex, which Mumia exposed so eloquently, we're fighting for schools, not jails, not austerity and cutbacks. Like, the teachers had to go on strike just to get a living wage all over different states in this country, in Puerto Rico, in Mexico, and other places. Mumia is a member of the National Writers Union. That's the United Auto Workers Local 1981, and they have resolved many times in support of his right to a fair trial. Healthcare workers in 1199 have resolved in support of the Hep C cure being available to him and all people in prison and all who need it. We have resolutions from postal workers. Down at the sorting plant some years ago, they had all ribbons to free Mumia one day. We had mine workers in South Africa and the Congress of South African Trade Unions resolving for Mumia. Don't be afraid to take this issue to your workplace organization, and if you need examples of those resolutions and that labor support for this cause, you can check the social media Labor Against Racist Terror. You can go, I don't want to advertise the platform because it's a corporate thing, but you know what to do. Look it up and then search the post for Mumia. The other thing is that, of course, jobs that people could have that could be organized to have collective bargaining and fair wages and benefits are being enforced onto people locked up in prison at slave wages, which they're allowed to by the 13th Amendment. So we need to bring this together. We need jobs, not jails. We need schools, not jails. We need housing, not jails. And Mumia has said the prison system in this country is the largest public housing project. There's more people sleeping there, and there's more people with disabilities in jail than in treatment and, hospitalization if they need it, and other kinds of rehab. So fight on, free Mumia, jobs not jails.
From the police, free them all. Palestine, Palestine. Palestine, free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Greetings, comrades. My name is Lilia. I'm part of the Committee to Stop FBI Repression, as well as within our lifetime, United for Palestine. And I'm going to be very brief. We condemn the political repression of Mumia Abu-Jamal and all political prisoners in the past and what is happening right now. Also, denying him medicine for his disease is not only keeping him decades in jail, but not giving him the right treatment, not giving him good conditions. But I also want to talk about political prisoners in Palestine because, let's face it, Israel is just a continuation of the U.S. imperialism. And we know that the IDF trains NYPD, who is right here. NYPD is another agency. The FBI is not the only one that is repressing people. So Ahmed Tamimi, which you already mentioned, she's been in prison since December. And she just turned 17 in January. This is a child prisoner. Her mother was in prison the same day. So this has been already 3 months. For what? For defending her land, for defending her home, for defending her family. And her whole family has been imprisoned or injured or killed. And now recently she's been going to court one day after another, and she was recently sentenced to 8 months in prison. So we call for the release of Ahmed Tamimi, for her mother Nariman Tamimi, for the liberation of Gaza, which is the largest open air prison, for freedom in Palestine, for the release of Mumia Abu-Jamal and all political prisoners here in the U.S. So, free Palestine and free political prisoners. There is only one solution, Intifada revolution. There is only one solution, Intifada revolution. There is only one solution, Intifada revolution. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Thank you.
Say free Palestine. Got labor in the house, APWU, come join us.
Okay, solidarity forever. Yeah. I was one of the postal workers that Sarah was just talking about. And Sarah gave us a big help in getting the green ribbons out, which we distributed among many people at the sorting plant at that time where I worked. And I encourage